Premier. 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 Premier.
Oh, fuck it. I love this shit right now. Every Tuesday night, nothing gets me more fired up than when we get going. D, here's my question for you. When we're sitting in that green room and you hear the music playing, you got the bring it noise coming through. Do you ever just sit here and just fucking hype yourself up? Like I'm sitting here yelling, let's go.
I'm no, because I created the song, so I'm like, man, I think I could make something better. And then I'm like, is my lighting off? My face looks orange.
You look like you just are. You look like you fucking spent 12 hours sitting under the sun today.
I mean,
you might need to put a little like powder base on.
I might need a powder base. Yeah, I don't know. I can't get this this ring light to match my complexion.
You look beautiful. Like that's all that matters. You look great.
Thank you, buddy. You do too. You do too.
Man.
You got some nice new gear from the weekend. Look at that.
Look at this. Like I'm all over the place. So Dustin and I, if you don't know, we hang out in Discord. There's a pre-show chat that anybody's welcome to come and join.
No one knows that because no one's there.
But we do tell people, and sometimes people show up, sometimes they don't. And we were chatting, and he was like, "Oh, look at that Bloley hat! Like, where'd you get that from?" And he's like, "Oh, Brian gave it to you after the game." I was like, Brian gave it to me before the game, and he asked me. So here's the thing, Brian. Last year, he's like, "Hey, you ever want to come hang out and play and like hang out, not play, but like hang out with my teams?" He's like, "You're always welcome." So he showed up. I hadn't even seen Brian yet, and he's just walking up to me and goes like this. Here's the hat. He's like, if you're not playing with Vil and you're just hanging on the bench, I'm going to be mad if you're not doing that with me.
Right.
Oh, God loves Sapola. But yeah, I love this. And I got my Wall Stars gear. Got my Wall Stars gear, little BP jacket. I'm not wearing anything underneath it.
Oh, wow. Look at that. That's a nice feeling, though. When you're the BP jacket with nothing underneath, that is a nice feeling.
I feel so sensual.
Yeah.
Sensual tonight. Yeah, with the maybe we'll have to play a little sensual music underneath us tonight.
Because you get a little like, it's silk. Well, it's a silky smooth bass with the BP jacket is a nice silky smooth bass, and
That's good.
It just moves across the skin very, very nicely.
You wear while wearing this and knowing I get to broadcast Sasha Killings again this weekend, like a lot of good things are happening with Big.
Yeah, we got a nice weekend coming up, don't we?
We do. We got a lot going on this weekend. But no, it's
South Carolina?
Yeah, down in Myrtle. But it is funny. Like this is what always started Dustin and I going early. Unfortunately, Corey's not going to be with, or Coco or Hazel Butter, whatever the fuck he's going by this week. Yeah. Isn't going to be able to join us this week. He had some things to take care of at home. So whatever. So, but like Dustin and I would just be sitting backstage and we would be shooting the shit. And next thing we know, we just look at each other and like, we've got to stop wasting some of this shit on each other. We just need to go fucking live.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So that's where it turned into. What do you say?
No one's hanging out with us in the Discord, so let's just fire this up.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the time for Bring It. We got a lot going on, like we normally do. It's softball season. We're all feeling good. We had women's tournaments coming on. We've got more conference tournaments coming on. I just saw a text come through, and I'm sorry, on my other screen from somebody's hat I'm wearing. He doesn't have one yet. But we got a lot of good stuff. But first off, you know where we're at. It's Tuesday night. The feeling is all right. D-Money, what's happening? And what you drinking, baby?
Tonight I have
you got it going again.
I have Branch and Blade.
Oh, let's
this
go.
Is the I Just Want to Be Puree. Now I haven't watched much Sunny.
Okay. What?
So I don't really get what the reference is for, but it's a Bahama Mama sour ale. So I'm excited for this.
You don't watch It's Always Sunny?
So I think I've watched like the first 2 or 3 seasons.
Oh, you've got a lot, man.
And I love it. It's good. I just never watched it past that point. And I know no one needs to come on here and tell me that I'm missing. I know I'm missing. I know it.
You do understand what's happening in pop culture. Like you understand the shows, like it's been around for 16 years, like 16 seasons. Like you understand. It's like Breaking Bad. I just finished Breaking Bad. I don't need people to tell me it's a good show to know it's a good show. You get it.
Exactly. Yeah. I know that I'm missing out. Someday maybe I will take a gander at it, but right now I'm just going to drink this beer with Frank on it. And
I was going to say, you're not missing out on a delicious beer though. Like, Branch and Blade, you know how well they fuck.
And the sours there are just good. And this, I took one sip and I know I'm going to love this. What do you got over there?
So funny thing, right?
Oh, yeah.
I went 4 days in a row last week of not drinking. I went Monday to Thursday with no booze in this temple of sex. And then Friday hits and, well, I was at BP. I got some bad news, some bad family news. And, I decided a drink was the right way to go. So I'm out with Amanda. I was like, I don't really want to drink tonight. And I was like, fuck it. It's a nice day. Let's go out. So we went to a place down the street. We went to Dairyfield. Had a drink or two, and then I get a text. From a co-host tonight saying, you're getting called out by Brian at Bird's Beers, saying he hasn't seen you for a while. And I don't like getting called out. Like, I'll get called out, and I want to back my shit up. So I went in there hot, 7:35, grabbed a couple 4-packs. Actually, I only grabbed one, but now he's doing samples. Did you see that tonight?
No, I was with the kid. I was moving because he goes in there and he just makes as much noise as he can. No one else is in there, but he's just making a crazy amount of noise. He wants to. His thing tonight was just like, and I'm sorry, Bert's. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna tell you, he was just like taking the stickers where it says how much what the beer is and how much it was. He was taking them off and putting them back on, possibly mixing up different things. So apologize for that, but I try to move as quickly as possible when I'm in there with him, because I'm like, I gotta pick 4 beers here very quickly and get this. That makes sense.
When you have a young child, sometimes you have to.
Yeah, there's a lot of glass. We had ourselves a little afternoon. We
nice.
We went to Handsome Devils because he needed a haircut.
Okay,
and I mean, I brought him there once, and he just wants to go there now because they have all the arcade games.
Yeah.
So he's like, let's go to the arcade. Yeah. So we went, got his haircut, went to Bert's, got myself a 4-pack. Then for his dinner, stopped at Mr. Max on the way home and he got the cheeseburger, the bacon cheeseburger, macaroni and cheese, and that place is outrageously good.
For a guy that doesn't like mac and cheese, I will agree with you.
You don't like mac and cheese?
I like it out of a blue box.
Oh my!
I don't like home styled mac and cheese.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I trust me. I know how wild that take is.
Yeah.
Like, I rather have it be the chemical bullshit version than the like over the top homemade style. Yeah,
Over the top homemade. What makes a baked macaroni and cheese over the top?
It's so like typically, it's usually gritty. And the only gritty I like to do is like,
I can see that.
That's it.
Gritty.
Yeah.
That's an interesting way of describing macaroni and cheese. But I think what you're getting at is the breaded topping.
Bread, and sometimes if you don't make it a proper bechamel, then we have issues.
Okay, so but Mr. Max is not like that though. It's not like
Mr. Max is great. Like Mr. Max does a very good job.
Yeah,
for sure.
Mr. Max it's just like they put the craziest stuff in macaroni and cheese, and it's delightful.
Yeah, it's not something I would do. But I get this text message from D, and he's like, Brian's calling you out. And he's like, oh, you're the guy on the podcast with Jason, and which that's my real name, Jason.
And I was like,
in case nobody knows. and so I'm in there, and he has some big things planned, but he's now giving out samples of certain beers, like on a tap. And he had this blueberry muffin, fruited sour from Great Notion, which is an amazing, amazing brewery.
So I grabbed the New England double IPA from there, and I had that earlier, and it was really good.
Great Notion's awesome. The only problem is I already had this in my hand.
Sometimes you just got to grab two.
And that's it. And I sat there. He's like, well, we're doing a special on this 4-pack. And I'm like, I got one.
Okay.
I'm like, all right. And then he was like, well, I got this WeldWorks strawberry cookies and cream. I love WeldWorks. And then like, he was like, well, there's this one. I'm like, fucking Christ, Brian. Like, I'm coming in because you called me out, and now I'm walking out with an 8-pack while I was just looking to go with a 4. So buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have a night.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I mean, you've just been getting called out constantly in the last
couple of weeks.
72 hours, yeah. Couple of weeks.
I feel like I get called out. I was at League. We were at League last night, and Silas Murray, there was a ball hit over my head. I was like, I'm not backpedaling for that one. He goes, yeah. He goes, you backpedal more on some of the comments you make. And I was like, hold on, because Premiere on Broadway. I was like, I thought that was a shot. And I was like, hold on, Silas. I'm like, that one was that. I'm like, you got to stir the pot sometimes. But he was like, oh, I wasn't even referring to that. I was like, oh, he goes, it was just a good chirp. But it hit close to home.
Yeah. You were like, what are you talking about? Yeah. So,
but yeah.
We had a good weekend.
Great weekend. I'm going to go off the fun spectrum for a second here. I think this is something important we talk about. No, it'll be 2 seconds. It's something that I'm seeing, and I've talked about with a couple people recently. It's the mental health side of things. Like, guys, go, like, if there's issues, like, I'm starting to feel it with my weight. I think I've surpassed where I was, like, that equilibrium of happiness and not caring about your body. I'm past that now. So mental health is starting to deteriorate. Talked to a couple people recently, and like, people have said, like, love how you talk about this. And listen, mental health, if you have a broken leg, you're going to take care of. Like, take care of yourself. Like, that's all it is. It's not when like when we first started talking about this and breaking down, but it's not something we haven't talked about in a while. So go take care of yourself. If you need to see somebody or find a therapist or find a person that you can confide in or get yourself better mentally, make sure you go take care of it. It doesn't matter if you're a man, a woman, anybody in between. Go take care of your fucking self. So yeah,
and we're not sponsored by them, but every other podcast is BetterHelp.
I did BetterHelp for a while.
Yeah. Did you like it?
No.
Do you like talking with somebody face to face?
It's more like I need to be in person. It was just the last time I went to see a therapist. He said all my problems were because my father and I drank together, and my dad's like My dad is basically like a sober person that'll drink every once in a while. I'm like, okay.
I feel like that. I feel like
yeah,
the
fuck
blame
you.
it on your parents thing is starting to become a meta joke
Yeah.
with like therapists, right?
Yeah.
Well, like it just like in pop culture now, like they're like, whenever a therapist comes out, they're just like, yeah, it's all your parents' fault.
Yeah, I'm like, my dad, no, like that's not the thing. I'm like,
Yeah,
no. And this guy was sober for like 20 years. And I'm like, you're not the fucking guy for me. And that's the other thing. Sometimes your
Yeah,
therapist is like trying on a pair of shoes or swinging a new bat. Like, you got to try a couple out.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't go. I have not gone to a therapist, but I agree. I've heard it a lot. You gotta
You just got to fill it out.
yeah. It's supposed to
So,
make you feel better or feel good. So
sometimes it's supposed to
Sometimes.
help things out.
I
Yeah,
guess that was-
it's a little
yeah.
painful. It's like PT, right? It's like,
Right.
getting back on your feet.
But I picture it as like end of the day, you should feel like better in a sense of you've let something out, you've gotten something off your chest, maybe that you haven't talked to somebody
Yeah.
else about or stuff like that.
Yeah. No, and that's it.
Feel
So
lighter. An air
I
of,
didn't really want to
like-
take a ton of time, but I had a couple conversations this weekend, and I've had some people make some comments to me about like, thanking us for actually bringing it up and being like, no, it's amazing that you guys actually talk about it. So, and it's been a while, so I just wanted to kind of bring that up.
Yeah, and come listen to how ignorant on the whole topic I am.
Or just the amount of shit that comes out of our mouth. But no, this
Right.
weekend was fucking awesome. It was a fun weekend. We got to watch some C-ball, and I got to see my boy Matt Beach.
Yeah, I was excited when I was excited to get over to Martell finally after 4 games.
7 hours, maybe.
And then once we got there, I saw that it's all set up. And really that's something that tournaments, we really do have to thank the Merrimack League for getting the whole like clubhouse upstairs. That's all set up.
Yeah.
And it's using, I mean, that's a perfect vantage point for streaming games at that place. And when it comes to tournaments and, one of the guys is there that can get into that and they can stream from up there. I mean, you're announcing the games just like we are. I mean, it was awesome.
I appreciate it, but it is fun. Like, I agree with you. Like, I think it is more fun when we can be up there. I didn't realize, A, how much you can hear me on the field. B, I wasn't going to go up there. So I'm on the board of our league, and the league we play at Merrimack is where Martell by the River, where the C tournament was, one of the fields was this weekend. We have a press box, so that's where the angle you're seeing is, as opposed to being right on the fence, you see the above. And I'm on the board, but I don't take my board, my board spot lightly, and I didn't want to go up there because it's not, league night, and Todd Anderson was like, no, if it's a board member, go ahead. Like, that's our spot. Like, you treat it with respect, which I do. And I said, awesome. Went up there and said, that's what we do during playoffs. Like, we broadcast up there. I actually bring a PA speaker and a microphone, and I announce the lineups during games during league night. So it was fun to be able to be up there.
That's where it's at right there.
Do we do, like, I was sitting there, I'm like, do we do this? Although
we did
a pitcher in the loser bracket final probably wouldn't have liked it, but
jeez.
Yeah, I'm saying that to you, Spanky. You're gonna fucking yell at me during the broadcast.
I don't know if I heard him yell at you, but I heard. I heard.
He was yelling at me from the mound, Spanky.
Yelled at me too. Who didn't he yell at?
Yeah. But no, it is fun up there, and I gotta tell you, like, I was looking forward to this tournament for a long time. Because I feel like this is probably the best C tournament we've had in New Hampshire and since I've been playing travel ball. And A to B. So, and then B, like, I don't know. Yeah, I think it was just A. And then B, I was broadcasting at the end of the day at the Prospects, I guess. But I was excited for this tournament regardless because I think you had 3 strong D teams, but the rest, you had 9 C teams in there. Like, and I feel like D, you and I've talked about, I feel like there is last couple of years, we've had 1 C team at least up here. That's kind of pretty much won everything, Smith, on the C level.
I wouldn't say you talk
On the
about
C
like maybe
level.
CNITs. Yeah.
Just C level, yes.
Yep.
CNITs. But I felt like this year going into this tournament, I felt like 4 or 5 C teams could probably win this tournament.
Yeah, maybe.
I know you're going to disagree, but that's okay.
I mean, and I'm not just saying that just because, my team made it to the championship. I've been around C to B since 2018. I've been playing those level tournaments since 2016 or 15, like just here and there. Before that, there's some really good C teams and there's some really not so great C teams, and I think we're going to get into that. But this C division is good, and you do have to come out and you have to play your game. It's not really like, I know that you say, over the last few years there's been one team that kind of runs it.
No. That was just in this area, like up here.
Okay, yeah, in this area. It is nowhere near like it was in 2018-19, where there was literally one team who would
really that was South Shore.
Very rarely lose a game. So, that was South Shore was 2016.
Okay.
But 2018, I want to say it was Bololi. 2019, it was Platinum Fire.
Okay.
In C's specifically, and both of those teams won nationals in those 2 years.
Really? Okay.
So I mean, yeah, that was it. You know what I mean? Like now, like you said, I feel like in the entire division, there's probably 4 or 5 teams that could win a C tournament.
Yeah.
I think there were maybe 2 to 3 at the tournament on Saturday, but I did see some teams that I was very impressed by compared to what they looked like the year before.
Last year. Yeah.
Yes.
I would say there was probably, you're right. So 4 to 5, I think that's after the fact. I don't think LFT was a team I thought could win it, let alone win it. I thought they were good, but like, what I saw there, so some of the teams you might have expected to be at the end there weren't there. So it was an interesting weekend to kind of see how things were all shaking out.
So who did you expect to be at the end then? Who did you expect to be your top 3?
You guys, National Gold Bololi, RDD, AC Roofing.
Yeah, that was a shocker.
That was a shocker going 1 and 2. I'm trying to think who am I? Oh, and Allstate. Those were probably like the 3.
Yeah. So here's my thing. Like,
and I didn't see Allstate until this weekend.
Yeah. Allstate with 2 pretty lackluster tournaments to start the year, right? I think they've played the same 2 that we have. Yeah. I don't know what, I mean, I don't know what's going on over there, but it's still early. It's May, right? You're probably not going to get your entire team to the field every single tournament. It's probably going to happen maybe like 3 times total, and you hope one of them's Worlds. But you would still think
Worlds.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't even seen them really play.
It was more of just going off of names, right? And like the shit you hear as opposed to actually seeing, Yeah,
I mean, and that's
not a good one.
What's that? Is that the blueberry one?
This is one of my favorite breweries for fruited sours. It's Beer Tree Brew, and it's a mango coconut pineapple. So
what I always have to look at
tonight. Yeah.
You know what I feel like I always have to look at being an IPA person is sometimes they will actually put like the canned on date, and then you're just gonna drink that just to get rid of it, just to get on to the next one. I feel like when they put the canned on or whenever they shipped, I look at that and I look to see if it's fairly new. Sometimes those beers sit on the shelves for a while.
So interesting story about that. No, this is 421. Brian was saying it doesn't matter. He goes, there's a sweet spot for sure, but it's not as bad as you think it is, and it doesn't make the beer worse. But that was not the beer.
That wasn't it.
So anyway, but no, you're right. I mean, I think some of it has to do with hype. We all know how teams go with hype and what people are saying. So, I look at the seed. So here's the thing. Like, I look at this weekend's tournament. I didn't expect us to win it. Like, I'm not saying that, but like if I got in the C tournament last year with my team, I could see us being in the finals. I could see us being in the top 4, like easy. This year, it's like, all right, let's go. 2-2 should be like what we're striving for, because looking at the teams here, I think that's a realistic one, and anything over that's gravy. But like, you're looking at these teams, and it's just kind of like, whew. Yeti was up and down last year. Blackout was not good last year, and they had a nice show. You know what I mean? So you're looking at some of these teams, and it's like, huh.
Blackout was one of those teams that did not just this weekend. I'm talking last year.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that they were not good. I think that they had like we beat them at the Firecracker like 33-32. It was an unbelievable game last year.
Mm-hmm.
But that team has gotten better.
Yes.
That team has gotten better. I also look at the size of the fields.
Yep.
And how that played a part in the games, because we won a game against Yeti that if we were not at Twardowski, we'd never win that game.
Well, you want to know something crazy? We didn't hit against you. We played Dustin in game 2. We won our first game. We played National Gold in game 2. To be honest with you, we actually felt going into that game, and we had talked about it heading over there. It's like, they're at Twardowski. Like, if they can't keep the ball in the field, like, we actually may have an advantage. The only problem is we forgot our bats back at Mines Falls, so it didn't really matter. But, like, you know what I mean? Like, because Twardowski's a small field.
Yeah.
So and the way that wind was blowing was bad.
It was all over the place.
Yeah.
But to go against what you're saying, in our Yeti game, I think we won in the 10th inning.
Oh, you're the fuckers. That is the reason why fucking everything was 3 hours behind.
Right, but listen to this.
Yeah.
So they might have hit 13 home runs, and we hit a walk-off solo to win the game in the 10th inning.
No shit.
So in the bottom of the 7th, Beach actually hit a line drive to left field. The outfielder jumped up, hit it with his glove, and it went over for a grand slam. 4-base error. I got up next with the opportunity to walk it off.
Yeah.
And I just hit a single. And then Ant gets up.
Yeah. Hit something.
And just hits a line drive at the second baseman, and it's caught. So we didn't score in the 7th. Then I don't think anybody scored in the 8th. And then I think it was the 9th inning that we scored a walk-off.
Wow.
But it was like,
was that Beach swinging that Tyler Marshburn Louisville Slugger?
Yeah, that is my Marshburn. So it's the 12-inch. It's very, very good. I like it.
Hey, Louisville, slowpitchslugger.com. Like, bring it. We'll fucking push it. We're whores. We will push it for you. Give us a code.
Right?
We'll take care of it for you.
Yeah. Those Louisvilles, and so I have the For the Fallen and the Marshburn.
Yeah.
Both 12-inch barrels with an end load. Love that. But we got over
the wife's not listening. She's not home. When that post went up, so that's Keith Beloli's. That's who we posted there with who has those bats. The wife's not home, so yeah, I bought myself a Dirty Sanchez. I bought that 27-ounce Dirty Sanchez, 13-inch half 3/4 ounce loaded. I'm ready to fucking go. I'm like, all right, I've got my bats for the next 2 years, hopefully, with the way they hold compression.
Yeah. So
give us a code.
And that's what what I was just about to say is,
fuck, I'm sorry.
I've been hitting BP, not all the time with that For the Fallen, but I did it like last year just to see how it was.
Yeah.
Then you know what I mean? It's starting to get like, I've taken some swings on it.
So how many swings do you have on your bat on that Marshburn?
The Marshburn is brand new. Maybe
For the Fallen
200. Well, maybe not
200, and you're still 270.
They were both at 270.
Wait, the For the Fallen was at 270?
Yep.
And you've probably taken a couple hundred, probably 500 swings?
Yeah, I would say in between 400 and 500. Because I definitely noticed, because they do have that thing where they start to the outer cover kind of like peels a little bit. And you can see the inside of the bat, that's something they got to figure out pretty quickly. Because those bats are going to get thrown out of games eventually. It's just going to happen.
Hold on. Do you see this? What is she swinging? Sasha swings at, what does she swing, at 28?
I swing at 27.5. 28s
swing
are
the
nice.
27. I
28s are
agree.
nice.
But I
20
feel like later in the day, like I like the 27. I got 26s. 26s are just I don't know how guys swing 25s. Like they'll swing 25s and I'm just like it feels like I'm swinging a toothpick and I have no control over it.
Yeah, I guess if you want to swing really, really hard, you could. I mean, and just I don't know. For me, I feel like I swing hard, but I feel like also when I'm swinging a lighter bat, it doesn't have
Yeah.
that. It doesn't have that like smooth feel to it, and I feel like I'm gonna like
You're
my
whipping
hands
it.
are just not even whipping it, but like it just feels
Like,
bad.
So
That's why I swing a heavier bat.
I swing it, okay, so she swings a 27 and a half, and that's I like all the bats
Same.
27, 27 and a half. Like I have a DeMarini Foo Dog that's a 26 and a half that feels like my 27 and a half. So, my Juno last year felt like a 27 and a half, even though it was a 26. Like, how sometimes that weighting goes. But I want that heaviness because it feels like there's a bat in my hand. I don't want to swing I don't want to feel like I'm swinging air.
Right. Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
yeah.
And that's kind of how a light bat can feel at points.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It's just like it's not following a level plane. Like it's just kind of moving because it's just not. Yeah. It just doesn't feel good.
Like,
And that's
look
all
at
it
me.
is.
Do you think I have control over anything in my life, let alone a light bat? Like, no.
Yeah.
I woke up Monday and I'm like, I'm going to the gym. It's fucking Tuesday. I see it when I wave by it when I go to the bar.
But that is one of the reasons why I do like the Firecracker tournament, because sometimes those bats are just all over the place, right?
It's
They're
just whatever. You'll get like
you pick up
4
a-
balances.
Yeah, and you're just like, I don't really swing this type of bat.
Yeah.
But you just have to get used to it. You have to figure out how to use the bat quickly.
That Proton you have, that Proton one piece balanced bat that was sent to you their first year when you guys were playing B with Bad Beat and you went down to the Worlds and they sent you that bat. I swing it and I take like 2 swings. I'm like, get out my fucking hands. Like, and I want to swing, like I want to try Proton, but I'm like, it's balanced. It's almost like, no, I can't go there. Can I go there? It's almost like, do you go with the tranny? You go home with the tranny or you go home with like the 2? You know what I mean? Like, is that the thing? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what it is between balanced and unloaded for me.
Okay. Yeah.
But a yes to both
Proton.
questions.
No, I just did the dismiss.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, dismiss.
Corey's not here to moderate, to leave.
The one thing, so I don't know. I've definitely swung that Proton in BP. And I think it's just a matter of like, eventually you do, like, if you swing it in BP, eventually you'll get used to it. So in those situations, I always look at like when we're at, the Firecracker and we say, okay, we're on this field and this is what the specs were for that bat. Just find someone on the team is going to swing something like that.
Yeah.
And you just swing it in BP and see what it's like. You know what I mean? Like that.
I never thought of that. That's a great one.
Or something to do in BP. And this might be a crazy thought, is just put like 3 different types of bats down on the ground and just pick one up and just
swing it and not know it.
Swing it and get yourself used to swinging something completely different.
I will do that. Like I do have a 26, or I had a 26 that felt like that was lighter because I wanted late in the day, like if my hands were tired, I wanted a lighter bat. So, like I would pick that up and man, it still feels weird. Like, but late in the day, now when you're tired, now you just grab it and swing. Like that's a smart way to go about it. Just throw a balanced couple different weights, and whoever grabs a bat, just don't grab your bat, grab another bat and just go fucking swing.
Yeah, because that Proton that I got, I think it's the balance. I think it was the Series 1.
Yeah,
it was a Series 1. And it's a 1-piece balanced bat, which is crazy.
Wild.
But 1-pieces are kind of making a little bit of a resurgence because they have that like stiff handle and they hit softer balls better. So, or at least that's what I've heard.
Hey, you know what? Yeah. You know what just happened to me? I think I finally became a full-fledged softball player. Okay. After 3 years on a podcast and playing. I now have, when we see a certain sponsor in the corner over there, when we see him, I bought one of those Louisvilles from the Sanchez. I've got a DeMarini VX2 in the back of my truck, new and wrapper with the warranty and all that shit. I've got the Foo Dog. I just bought a new Easton bar or whatever. Like, I've got fucking 15 bats now.
You're trying to find you're finding your brand.
I'm a fucking whore.
Yeah, like what bat do I like?
I like the bats that are cheap until I spent,
Easton.
$550 on 2 bats.
You're talking about Easton. I feel like Easton bats are always like you can get them for $100 to $150.
I got the ball for 100 and change, and then but then I'm like I go to Martel and Venuti, aka Shooter, has the VX2, and I'm like, yeah, fuck it, give it to me, buy that from him, and then Bololi puts that out, and I hear everybody talking about the Louisville. I'm like, fuck it, I like those too. I'm like, you know what, Amanda's getting a job again soon. What's another two fucking $300, whatever it is, like. So $600 between 2 bats. I'm just another. I get how the softball whorish begins. I get it.
Yeah, it starts and it doesn't stop.
I'm a shoe whore. You think I'm not going to be a bat whore? I got a new glove too. Like I got a new Louisville glove.
This is one of the reasons why you'll never see softball go back to like metal bats or
no.
It's never happening, people. You can go on there and be like, oh, it's the bat's fault. They need to change it. They need to remember the old days when we used to. They're not doing that because you're going to buy a bat every year. Why would they ever go back to not selling bats? Yeah. Why would they go back to a bat? It does suck that, I mean, as long as you're getting a return, and I've heard from some of the companies that getting returns is like pretty tough to do. So as long as you're getting that return with a $300 bat, then
I tried.
Okay, you're getting
I tried
two.
so hard with Juno to get a return. The thing wouldn't fucking crack. The handle's illegal, but the barrel wouldn't crack.
Do you think that they would send you similar with the same handle?
I love that bat. I would love that.
I'm sure they have a ton in stock.
That fucking final chapter I swung last year, the volume 2. That's honestly, that is my most favorite bat I've swung, is that final chapter from Juno.
But you said that dipped in compression pretty quick, right?
Quick? It's
like
quicker than this.
Okay, so how many swings do you think you got before you got it tested? Not like, oh, how did that feel? Just passed in Taunton. Literally maybe 25 swings with dog shit balls. Like all hot dots or worse. Huh. That doesn't make any sense.
No, and that was on the Merrimack tester last year. But like
did it pass anywhere else?
It passed in Taunton in the first tournament, and then it's let's just hypothetically, let's say it passes.
It still passes.
Well, so like, you know how D-ball goes. Like I was fucking swinging my Fab 4 Clark for 3 years ago. That was testing at 190, 180.
Yeah, those Eastons used
Worlds.
to get down. Those Eastons used to get down.
So I would never swing that Clark. But like as soon as I hear a shotgun on the other team's bench, guess what's coming out? The Clark. If you're not testing and I hear a shotgun, my fucking 190, 185 bat's coming out.
The first time you heard a ruckus, whoever was swinging, the first ruckus you heard, you're like, get it out.
No, because those things fucking... Yeah, because it sounds like a shotgun at 280.
It's crazy. Yeah.
It is wild. But no, like, you see an Easton fucking whatever, and it sounded way different than what mine did, and mine was testing, it wasn't 220.
Low. We'll say low.
It was low. I actually never got a real reading on it. It was under 220, but like I hear that thing and it sounds like fucking somebody's out there trying to fucking hunt turkeys. Yeah, that's coming out. Like, fuck you. You're going to shave your bats like a fucking bitch?
If it was in Easton, they weren't shaving it. Like,
no, if it was in Easton, they just took 20 swings.
Yeah.
Louisville or DeMarini, somebody sponsor us. But that's
But yeah.
why. But that's why I went out and bought DeMarini, and that's why I went out and got the Dirty Sanchez from Keith. And if you are looking for a Louisville, please get in touch with us. He does. We did update the post today. He doesn't have any 27s left. He has 28s left. If you're one of these guys,
Tony.
Yeah.
Tony might be the only person I know who swings a 28 still.
But he has a handful of 26s left. So get in touch with us. They hold compression.
And they're freaking hot right out. Like I'm telling you,
Really?
when Beach started, Beach and I swung that Marshburn at the Taunton tournament when no one was hitting home runs, and Beach was hitting home runs with that. I had taken it right out of the wrapper and gave it to Hickey right out of the wrapper, right to Hickey on the tester. Those bats are good. Like, so you do not like, if you have similar spec 220 that you can't use anymore, keep it and use it as a BP bat. It's not going to feel exactly the same if it's a different type of bat or whatever, but it's going to be close enough.
Well, that's me. I'm a 13-inch barrel, half ounce. I'll even go higher than a half ounce, but like 13-inch half ounce is what I like. VX2, 13-inch half ounce. Foo Dog, 13-inch half ounce. Dirty Sanchez, 13-inch. I think it might be a 0.75 end load. In on that. I don't give a fuck. I have a Anarchy cotton candy from Druzy from like 2012 in Canada that's still passing at 280. You know what I mean? Like I've got plenty of 13-inch barrels, whether they pass or not, it doesn't matter because I play U-Trip. So I just use those for BP. And like my Foo Dog, I'll take a couple swings with. I just want to make sure it passes. Like you need to kind of work at the Louisville. I'm going to make sure it sits right at where it needs to be. I'm going to get it broken in a little bit, and then it's never going to see the light of day until the game.
Right. Yeah, you should. I mean, you might not even want to swing it really in BP. Like that's...
With my balls, you might be able to.
I don't know. I got
They're
those...
beat up hot dots.
I got those flyers.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen like
we haven't BP'd in a while.
Yeah, you gotta come out to the Chub.
I know.
Get some BP in. Yeah, so they're like BP balls.
Okay.
They don't get waterlogged. They're it's just one outer casing, and I think they're hot dots essentially, but they fly further than hot dots because they're lighter. So they're cool for BP. Yeah. You can just wash them. You like just spray them with a hose because they literally they cannot get waterlogged. It's like a one all encompassing casing on the ball.
Who is it?
I can find out for you.
Sponsor us, Flyers. Sponsor us.
I don't know if they're Flyers. Tony would know. He told me.
Shocking. Tony, Tony would know.
While I'm looking it up, I did have a question for you. So, and for anyone listening, what is your favorite bat? Year, sanction,
so,
like tell me what your favorite bat is.
This is going to be a better one for the comments because for me, you know, I've been playing tournaments. I've been getting into this since we started the podcast. That's it. So I'm a 3-year-old guy. It's me. It was the Easton Fab 4 Clark, the black and gold edition that I had 3 years ago in league with the like, you know, it was a black barrel with the gold speckled. That was my favorite fucking bat that I've ever swung. I'm 3 years in. I don't
3
know
years
fucking
in.
bat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Give me like I said, 13-inch barrel. Give me an end load, and away I'll go. I'm a backside double play or a fucking nuke into left center. 15. We got a 15-foot freak by Patrick Simpson. Wow.
Ooh,
15-foot freak. Okay.
Yeah.
15-foot freak black.
The 2015 freak black. I think that was the black with the blue and the gold. I could be wrong.
Okay.
Mine was, I can't remember what year, but it was the Easton Wegman L2.
Was it the white or the black and purple one?
It's the white one with the green and that thing. It was a one piece progressive end load. I had a 20. It was like 26 was 1 ounce, 27.
Wait, it wasn't the white and blue one.
No, it was white, all white, and then there's like two little green lines at the top.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
those Wegmans were great bats.
I literally have 5,000 swings on that bat. And it just failed just because I was like, I wasn't swinging it at all, but I was
Yeah.
like, I want to see if this will pass for playoffs last year, and it didn't pass for play. I think that was like the first time it hadn't passed.
It's those. I wonder if Easton's going to go back to the one piece because I know Vinny's another guy that loves that Wegman one piece, regardless if it's that the one you had, the white and red, white, and blue one I have, or the black that last one you had where it was like the black, gray, purple.
It was black and purple. Yeah, I had a few of those because it was the closest thing to his L2 version.
So I wonder if they go back, especially with where you're seeing a lot like Suncoast, Juno. You're seeing a lot of one pieces come back to the market.
Yeah.
But
So the one thing
is coming a lot.
Yeah, one thing I haven't seen a lot of is or are the Easton bats. I have not seen a lot of people swinging Easton.
You know where you're seeing them? The D, E,
In DUR?
E.
Even the
you're seeing them a
240s?
little more. Just because you know why? I think a lot of people are like me, but I'm curious. Like this is what I'm curious to see. So I swung the Easton Daw or Ba, whatever. Ba what the Ba. It's the pink one because it's 12.75 half ounce end load for $100. I'm really curious to see. Like, I even feel like with that DeMarini Foo Dog versus that Easton that I was swinging this weekend, I feel like I almost pulled out the DeMarini a couple times, and that's
Really?
at like 300.
Interesting.
And that Easton's now. It came in on Wednesday, and it's now probably at what? I took BP with it. I played the tournament with it. It's probably at 100 and change swings. It's probably already down at 240. And I still like the other. I mean, right? Like, I mean, it's just because it's hypothetically because it's Easton.
I don't know what their 240 scene looks like.
You saw how I hit off you with that fucking bat, by the way. Until Big Ant told me what to do, I fucking sucked.
So, I mean, I have one 240 Easton, and I feel like it's down at 240 or in between 240 and 250. Okay. And it's been there, even though like I did hit with it a bit last year, and it's passed every time I've put it on a tester. So it's a couple years old. I would say it probably has 300 or 400 swings on it.
So the one that you and I traded that Ruckus for, that 13.5 for that 12.
Yeah. That was one of my returns that was just out of my specs.
I don't swing it anymore. Like it's a 13.5. I don't swing it. It's probably something I get tested for leading, just let anybody swing it. It never felt good with my hand. I'm not saying that like because like I want a fucking trade, but no, like it just never felt good. Like I don't know if it was the extra half inch because I don't know what to do with that much, but like
with the extra half inch,
it's a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm Irish, but it just never fit well. Where I don't know. I just feel like that 12.75 to 13, I've never had an issue with. Like that 13.5 to them like 12.5. I always feel like that's a bigger jump. And it's weird in my head. I don't know if it's a head thing or an actual shitty swing thing.
Gotcha. One thing I did notice this weekend though is like teams are almost like latching on to what other people on their team swing. I feel like I feel like there's like Anarchy and Competitive Edge I think that's like all the RDD guys swing either Anarchy or Competitive Edge. It seems.
Wonder why.
Right. They got an Anarchy guy.
They got a guy.
I'm just saying like
yes, but yeah.
And you do see Anarchies and Competitive Edges elsewhere.
Yeah.
But I feel like I don't know. I feel like these newer companies are almost doing 240 better than Easton and the Mikan you don't really see very much of, and Worth.
Ooh, I don't know if that's going to be true for much longer, D.
What do you got? Oh, the new
that gray Riley that Leoncello was swinging this weekend. I've
black
heard
and gray one.
A lot of people, the gray one that a lot of people are going to be swinging it.
What is it? Is that the Mikan?
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
Mike and not KP, but the Freak 9 maybe or something like that.
They
Leoncello, it was the bat that Leoncello was fucking murdering you with.
Gotcha.
Not saying that in a negative way.
You can say
Well,
it in a negative
I'm not
way
saying
if you
that
want.
he hit you, but that like I know, but when I used to bring up bad beat, you used to get so mad at me. I don't want you to get mad at me.
I didn't get mad. No, if you said something, I was going to be like, I'm going to show you what to do with that. I should be like that, but I mean, I don't think he hit. I don't think he hit very well against us. I know he made the all tournament team. I don't know if he hit. I mean,
he fielded like fucking Pablo Sandoval playing in center field.
Right.
But that bat, I've heard that bat. Sorry, Leo, I got to give it to you. But no, that bat I've heard is hot as fuck.
A lot of guys swinging it at the duel too for teams that were miking people.
I think that's a bat we'll probably see a lot. But I think we're going to see a lot. Listen, we're going to see Louisville, especially with what happened with Suncoast, what happened with Juneau. I think if that didn't happen, that is going to be the bats we see. I think we would have seen Suncoast and Juneau way more this year if they didn't have the temporary ban. And yeah, and listen, I agree with, like, I know, like, we know Mike and Worth and Easton are all the same tech. Yeah. But, like, for whatever reason, Mike and Worth are holding, and maybe it's different because, like, I look at that thing, that 12.75 thing, half ounce unloaded, I'm like, I'd love that in my hand just because it's a Fab Four Clark, like, my head of me, like, where that was my favorite bat. But right. I'm like, man, I know how it's not.
Yeah, so people were swinging the competitive edge Suncoast. I think I said competitive edge earlier, but that's the Suncoast that's being swung that I've seen. Mm-hmm. That is supposed to, isn't there supposed to be the testing keeps getting pushed off for those?
So it's supposed to be. I heard the testing was supposed to happen like last week.
Yeah,
end of last week. I think somebody put it out there.
Well, didn't we share something that said like it's going to be after this weekend or something?
Juneau. Yeah, we put something. We shared something. Man, if only our social media manager could have remember what the fuck he put out.
So yeah. So hopefully we hear something, but from those two companies to see what's going on, because a lot of people out there with a lot of bats that it's tough it's tough to go back and now be like, okay, I have swung the ruckus in the past, right? Mm-hmm. Am I gonna I've found good bats that hold compression in the Louisville selection. Am I gonna go and dabble with a Suncoast? No.
I don't know. I'm a fucking loser that has DeMarini and fucking Louisville in my truck now. Like, so I have bats that are going to pass compression hopefully for 2-3 years. Like, that's what I'm hoping for.
Right. The thing that I like about the thing that I like about this is that there's a bunch of bats that are really good, and that's where where we ended the 220 era. You know what I mean? Like, there you could buy a bat from any company and it's going to be good, that is a good thing, because I feel like when I first started, it was like you'd see a few bats. They were all like, it was all the same bats that you would see that were really, really good.
Well, and that's it. Like, Keith, I love you, but I hate you. And yeah, we'll be at Primo's on Thursday, right? Are we doing Primo's on Thursday?
Did we say Thursday?
No, but maybe we'll talk about it. Did we
say a date?
I said Thursday, and
Keith
said he had to check, and you didn't.
I have to, and I didn't respond, so I also have to check.
All right, well, I'll figure it out.
I did.
I was spilling beer, but like you're right. Like it was. I'm sorry, Jesus Christ. My beer is spilling all over. It's my fourth one. But I felt like you're right. Like I feel like right now, I don't give a fuck about a bat. I know it sounds crazy, but like, and I have 2 brand new bats that I haven't swung. But I feel like we're getting to a spot, especially like you said, D, like at the end of the 220s, some of the 240s early on, they're all good. And I think that's where we're getting to again, like quickly. They're all going to be good. It's more of like, what's your price point that you really want? Do you care about having an extra 3 miles per hour, 4 miles per hour on the velo, exit velo? Or do you care about saving $200? I think that's what it's going to come down to at the end of this all.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Price. Right.
Yeah. Because you can buy, the Griffey on the Louisville just sold out in 25, like 50 minutes.
Not even.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like it was so
like,
quick.
It was like a few minutes and it was gone.
Yeah, but like I'm telling you what I just swung, like that Easton I just swung this weekend, the ball with the ball, it was good. I've always said it. I don't give a fuck. Give me a bat, put it in my hands. If it's a 13-incher end loaded, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Then why? Because I need a therapist for fucking bats. Why did I just spend fucking $600 on that then?
Well, here are the BP balls that don't break your bat. Supposedly, they're the 80 Star Tattoo NX3 spinners that I got, and I got the 52 cores. So the cores are not as bad for your bats, allegedly.
The bat I'm really curious about out of all of the bats we've talked about.
I don't really give a fuck about a bat. And then you're like, that's a cool story with the balls, but I'm gonna get back into the bats that I don't fucking care about.
Here's the thing. I was talking about this weekend. I was saying how my subreddits are not doing what they used to be. And like I need a new subreddit to really get the blood flowing again and like get a little more excitement in the mornings or in the bathroom. And I feel like that's Proton. I'm just curious about Proton. Just because I see them, their bats are sexy. That's all. But I would love, D, we got to figure out a way to do a ball episode. And not like, how we shave them, but like how do we, like I would love to talk about balls for an episode.
You'd like to talk about balls.
Shocking. Okay. Milky Glory.
Well, I think we should get some ball people in the in here.
Hey, Smash It Sports, send us a code.
We need some ball people. We got to talk about balls.
But like with the Hickey episode, when he was talking about how saying like with the balls and how I think at the end of the day the balls matter way
more. Yeah.
Chicken or the egg. I think the balls matter way. We played with fucking rocks at Twardorsky and Martel.
We played with Pro-Ams, which are not rocks, but
it was cold. Well, in the morning it was cold. It wasn't cold later.
And at night it was cold.
Yeah. And that's when you saw a lot. But so what's a rock? I thought those things were rocks. They're harder than what we use at League.
So it's not a classic M though. It's harder than League. So it's in between. I would say it's somewhere, and I'm completely ignorant about this stuff. But I'm going to give you the bring it expertise.
The bring it bullshit.
Yeah. The Pro-Am is somewhere in between a Hot Dot or a Classic Plus and a Classic M.
Yeah, cool. Still doesn't mean anything.
Tell me I'm wrong in the comments and tell me what the answer is. But yeah,
I would love to get some ball people on, like whether it be from Dudley or Worth, or I don't give a shit. Like I would love, because they're all the same. Yeah, no, we don't have that much time. And he's not up this late. Like, you know how late he'd have to stay up to be on this podcast?
You know how early we'd have to start to have him on as a guest?
3:00 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Before BP.
BPing then. He called me before BP yesterday.
Yeah. I need to get that. I'm going to hit BP with him yet because I've been doing board things. But no, so I think that'd be a good one for us. But you know what? I also would be a good one for us. We had our first like real women's tournament in the area. And I got to tell you, I was a little surprised on who won it.
Who ended up taking that one down?
Hold on, I'm just making sure I got the right date.
Oh, I think I saw this too.
Oh wait, no, this was a week women's tournament, which why ladies get out to your tournaments, son of bitches. But the Sharks from Rhode Island.
They double dipped, right?
They got themselves an awful from Rhode Island in Massachusetts. They double dipped. Who, Grip and Rip It? Yeah.
Yes. And then that Rally Pigs, the D team, comes in third from Connecticut.
Wild. Never heard of them. I talked to the Wall Stars. I saw a couple of the Wall Stars at Martel by the river. I saw Jordan Hillier, who, by the way, don't ever sit on the fucking press box ledge again, you naughty. No. I saw Trish. I saw Lindsay Watt, Trish Courier, and Juju. They had the men's CNIT, and they were saying they lost to the Rally Pigs. And I was like, I don't really know the Rally Pigs, I didn't think. But do we know them? They're from Pigs, Connecticut. Oh, my God.
I do not. That. I don't know. Who
no, you don't. I know that. Jesus Christ, they have a huge fucking roster. I don't know them, actually. But what a great name. And as always, the women's game is way better named than the men's. But Rally Pigs definitely surprised. But, Wall Stars first tournament finishing third. The Sharks, a C team winning that tournament, beat double dipping, gripping, and rip it. Nice job by those ladies.
That's a really good win. That's a really good win.
The Sharks are a good fucking team.
Yeah.
Look at that differential. Their differential was 5.2. Like, are you shitting me? Love that.
It's pretty good. That is good.
So, Stacy Pecora for the Sharks was the tournament MVP. Offensive MVP was Jess Lacey Stone. And, oh, Jesus. Can you do the defensive MVP? Jonaya
You have to do
Velga. Jonaya Velga was the defensive tournament MVP. But I like this Sharks team. This Sharks team has been strong for a number of years. This was a team I was hoping to see at the Mojo when I was out in Ohio. They couldn't make it because of work and travel and, yada, yada, yada. Olivia Kenyon plays with this team. Ashley Laramie, a couple of ladies off the top of my head. A couple of the ladies I love to watch play. But yeah, no, I love this Sharks team. I think it's a strong team. I think them taking and double dipping, gripping and rip it is a huge, huge point for the Lady Sharks.
Yeah, and I mean, we didn't really even get into the men's tournament all that much. We just jumped right into bats, I feel.
We talked about the men's. Let's jump into it. We talked about
we talked about it a little bit, yeah.
Hold on, I'm here. There's a men's E. I want to give them a shout out real quick.
Wolfpack came in second. I saw that.
Yeah. And Wolfpack, stop losing your fucking first game of your tournament. You don't have to fucking run. Stop going out drinking until 3:00 in the morning on a Friday night.
Jero, it's not about how you. Yeah, it's not about how you start. It's about how you finish. That's actually, I actually don't mind when stuff like that happens. You know what I mean? You see someone come in second place, but they lost their first game. That's amazing. At this point in the year, that's perfect. That's exactly what you want.
It actually teaches you a lot. Like it puts
you know what I mean? You're going to learn way more from doing that than just walking through a tournament.
I agree.
So like where that's kind of happened to them, they've lost a little earlier and then they've kind of rallied back 2 tournaments. I think they've come in second twice, but they're rallying. That's going to be better for them at the end of the year than,
But Timmy Real cannot play fucking 6 games in a row. Like, let's not kid ourselves here. Timmy Real cannot play 6 games.
I don't know if I can.
I can't. I can't broadcast 6 games in a row, let alone play them. But no, so good to see from the Wolfpack boys and then the Young Guns out of Maine to win that. So, but yeah, the C. I'm not going to get into that tonight. So the C division in New Hampshire. This was a fun tournament, like we had started talking about. Fuck, man. LFT Simonelli. D, you and I had talked about it. I do think if you had somebody else's draw where you're not playing LFT in the second game, it's a different outcome for the National Gold Bololi boys. But this was, I love this tournament, except for the hour-and-a-half break between the losers bracket final and the winners bracket, or the losers bracket semis and the loser bracket final.
Yeah, and I mean, I wasn't making with that assessment that the conversation we had, I wasn't making an excuse of why we, why we lost.
know
the
you
tournament.
weren't.
I personally
I
think
can.
if we would have faced LFT in the winners bracket final, it would have been a different game than the game we had
I agree.
against them. Which
Yeah.
just because when the two teams that are in the championship play earlier at Twardowski, which is just the field just feels weird, right?
Mhm.
And who knows, they could have beaten us by a lot more at a field like Martell too. I just like our chances if we were to see them later in the tournament. That team is really good.
Yeah.
They've got some
Who the
younger players on their team that can definitely play.
Who the fuck is that fucking weird fucking Crawford with that pointy fucking capped brim? Like, he bends his fucking brim and hat. Crawford, what are you doing? You're fast as fuck. You play a great shortstop. What are you doing with a like pointed tent fucking Eskimo brim? What are you doing?
I saw that. I wasn't sure what it was, but let the kid
my
be.
God.
No,
no, I can't.
And then we've got a tournament
He's
MVP.
23.
I was told, by my bad beat
Source
on that team, Sleepy. They call him Sleepy.
Wait.
Yeah.
They call Huddy Sleepy? Joe Hudden is Sleepy?
And I think he made 2 outs, which
Dude,
is a pretty good tournament.
he also hit a couple balls to fucking Manchester. Now, Merrimack is south of Manchester. Manchester's about 3 miles north of Merrimack, and he hit a couple balls there. Guy he hit some fucking piss missiles.
Yeah, he hits bombs.
He's a tall
He's in a
lefty.
perfect.
He's a cheating lefty.
Yeah, but he
doesn't get cheated.
No, he fucking smashes every single ball he hits.
I like this team though. Like this LFT, like Leo, I know you're in the comments, but yeah, this fucking team's gonna be fun to watch. Like, and I like it because it's a good group of fucking boys. Like, it's a good group of dudes. At least it's
It
what
really
it looks
is.
like.
Yeah.
Like the boys are boys.
And they picked up that weirdo.
He's
in
a
right
fucking
field.
he's a psycho.
Dude, he's so weird.
But you know what I'm pissed about? So here's the thing. I think his last at bat against you, he
Wasn't out.
needed a home run. It wasn't out. He needed a home run to complete the cycle. I think he had a single, double, triple. He needed a home run, and the motherfucking loser.
There's
Josh Moore,
no way he got 3 hits against me.
he had 3.
I gotta go back and
Dustin,
watch.
he was
No
3
way.
for 3 going into his last at bat.
No way.
Listen, I know you're pitching and you think you know everything on the fucking field, but
No,
the broadcaster had it going.
He got 2 hits.
He had 3. Oh, and here, Little Mac is here.
Yeah.
Little Mac's in the comments too.
You guys have no fucking idea what you got yourself into.
you guys fucked up by grabbing Morsey.
Beard knows. You've got no fucking clue.
I can't believe Beard signed off on this. Like, didn't they check with him first, being like,
Yeah,
"Hey, Beard's
but
like,
I'm
what do you
also-
think?"
I'm also excited for you guys too.
No, but this team, I didn't know. Like, it's a new C team this year. I didn't know what to expect from them. You know who I didn't? I think I saw him make 1 out in like 3 games. Was their third baseman, Stewie. Him and his fucking glasses, just getting on base, finding a hole, finding a gap, and waking up on base. Like, this is gonna be a fun team to watch.
really
I
is.
love TC.
He pitched very, very well.
Yeah.
He was grooving strikes even in the Twardowski game, which Twardowski was. See you later. Twardowski was tough because it had a weird wind going like throughout the entire day.
Mm-hmm.
But he was locking down the zone. So
No, this is, and they have a lot of young kids. Like, I think their center fielder, I think that was Petrzik or Pedophile, and then you have Crawford at short. Like, you got some good young kids as well there.
I don't think Crawford's at short. What did we say?
Crawford's a shortstop, dude.
I thought you said it was Power.
No. You said it was Power. I will put $20 on it. Crawford,
And then
is
you
their
agreed
shortstop.
with me.
No,
Somebody
I didn't.
tell us.
Crawford is their shortstop. Power was playing. Oh fuck!
Crawford
I have
is
to go back and
shortstop.
figure it out.
You're right.
Yeah,
You're
Crawford.
right. I
I
don't
think
pay
was their
attention.
right fielder. Power was fucking a great leadoff hitter.
I can't see in right field. I'll just look over there.
Trevor. So what's
There we
Trevor's
go.
last name? Leo.
Yeah, we only look at the back of
Yeah,
the
you're giving me his
the
first
jerseys.
names. Like, who the fuck are these guys? Fuck
No
off.
clue.
Like, they can be fucking Habib and fucking Konnichiwa. Like, I don't know who these guys are. Give me last names.
But they're all
The-
they're all what, 24, 25?
They're fucking young. You got old guys like Leoncello, who's got bodybuilding competitions, has to show up and be like dehydrated so his veins are popping. And then you have these like you have Petrovic, who's playing center field. So here's the thing: back-to-back half innings. Petrovic made a hell of a catch in the right center gap, and then Pat Bradney's made a hell of a catch in the left center gap. Like it was awesome.
Yeah, I will say, and I didn't see much of anything else. I think the two teams in the championship had the best defense
I agree.
on both sides. And I think at the end of they say defense wins championships, right? I think at the end of the year, you're also going to see this too. Like Florida never plays like it does
Especially
anywhere
up here.
else.
Yeah.
So you like if you make defensive mistakes, you're going to probably end up losing. It doesn't matter like your home run tallies like and what you
Whatever.
score per home run. It's not really going to matter because teams are just going to start hitting whether it's home runs or base hits.
Yep.
But yeah,
Make it-
obviously it matters in some games, right? Like I saw you make the face. Obviously the home
No,
run
but
count
yeah.
matters in some games. But
when
I'm
you
telling
get to
you,
the end, when you get to like in that game, you versus LFT, National Goal Bowling versus LFT Simonelli, defense mattered. Early in the day, you played us, defense didn't matter. LFT, I watched them play, defense didn't matter. I watched, Toro lost to Blackout, maybe. I forget who it was. It didn't matter. When you get to the end, when you get to the spot where, you're at the end of a tournament, when you're in the top 15 of worlds, that's when defense matters. And that's what wins or loses games, not
but at
three home
Worlds,
runs, 3 runs per home run.
yeah, at Worlds though, you could be lined up against one of those better teams right off the bat. So you cannot make
Correct.
any mistakes.
Your
in
home
those
runs at
first two
Worlds
games.
at Vieira, right? Like if you score 10 runs off of your 5 home runs,
It's
you're
great.
happy. You're
Yeah.
fucking thrilled.
Yeah, unless it's one of the 30-run games, which
Then you're
Can
not.
happen.
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah,
Um,
then the other tournament MVP we had was Lafferty. Same.
Sorry, I'm
he-
not saying that's not face at Billy. Don't make me Lafferty. It's Billy. Don't make me Peary. P-Riddy right now.
Okay.
We got to piss pretty bad.
Oh
right
yeah,
now.
we're running late. Just a little
It's
late.
all. It's only. I drink 4 fucking beers right now.
Yeah.
If
in
you
a
can
quick-
hold the conversation
quick
for
amount of
2
time.
minutes, I can do it.
I can't.
No,
I
but
mean, I
Laugh
just
Laugh
hop all over the
was
place.
Laugh was good with his one knee. I was
Defensively,
I was
and
surprised
offensively.
I was surprised by Billy, but defensively,
I think
Billy's
this could
fucking
be
legit.
this could have been a defensive MVP
You like
because
Billy
in
so
those
good.
last once we got over to Martel and even all day,
Yeah.
just it happened more at Martel. He was making so many plays.
Oh yeah.
Like it was just he was on it.
I
So
I feel like Billy is a guy where you watch. When you watch those like defensive drills of like how you're supposed to attack a ball with your glove.
yeah,
I feel like that's Laugh.
yeah, he does.
You know what I mean? Like he
that's
does
called
it, yeah.
fundies. Yeah.
So, what we got going this weekend? Oh, we got to go to Myrtle Beach, baby.
Myrtle Beach, yeah. We got
So we
there's
got-
a couple teams, right?
Yeah, we got our bad bitches, which I saw one of our bad bitches this tonight. We saw Tab tonight. We're going to see Chaos this weekend. Obviously, we're going to follow them. Chaos, it's not going to be like a fucking pay-per-view where we just follow you around Myrtle Beach. We also have other teams we're going to watch. We got KLNR, and then we got Platinum Fire as well. So PF. So we got 3 teams. We're going to be broadcasting a lot this weekend.
Platinum Fire's not in this tournament.
Okay, the KLNR and Chaos. So we got 2 teams we're going to follow around like horses
thought-
on shit.
Yeah. I thought
haven't-
they would be in this one because I guess it's kind of a close. It's one of the closer ones, I guess, but I don't know
Mm-hmm.
what their schedule is.
I was actually surprised. I thought they were. I have not really looked at the bracket. I know Chaos is in. That's all I know.
Yeah. So Bololi faces off against Sports Reach, I think, which is the team.
Oh, that beat
You
up.
got to go.
That's
You
triple
gotta
play.
get yeah, the triple play. Bones. Oh, and it's
Get
actually
Bones won.
We don't have it.
No, we're not gonna do it. Get
Check
the fuck
out
out
last
of here.
episode to watch
We're
that.
not, yeah. If
16
you want to
times.
watch some of that and have some fun, like get out of here. But otherwise, we're gonna see you on. We'll see you this weekend, right?
Yeah, at some point.
Put it here. Bad
Sure.
spot in the top of the 7th for Bololi. Roll over. Bones 1. Bones 2.
Tag.
Bones 3. Let's go. Triple play. Oh!